What is up, detail friends? Welcome back to Detail with Jess. In today's video, we are detailing a big old fifth wheel. I don't mean old, but it's a big old fifth wheel. And ew. Let's just say it was an experience, okay? I promised myself I would never do this ever again, but for this very special friend, we got the job done, and the chances that we'll do it again are probably pretty high. Guys, don't judge me through this entire process. This is just a learning process, doing it at a discounted rate to learn, but just putting that out there. So don't judge me. Don't come at me. Don't chop my head off. Thank you. Anywho, so today's journey was really just an experience, a learning lesson, and a journey. Okay, let's get started. And by the way, stay tuned to the end because I will be telling you exactly what we made on these details, because yes, we ended up with more than just one. And I'm going to list all of the products throughout the video, share with you exactly what we're using from start to finish, all the products, all the tools, and I also have those all linked in the description for you guys as well. So let's just dive into this full-on blast of a journey. So this is the Cherokee Wolfpack fifth wheel that we are working on today. And from the initial overview, it's pretty clear that it is dirty. It's got a lot of those black streaks coming down it. It's got quite a bit of oxidation on this side, but it didn't seem too bad. That little spot there, pay attention to that. Keep that in mind. I'm going to share a story with you about that real quick here. So this side is looking a bit better with the oxidation. The client would like the roof cleaned as well, and he would like a UV protectant applied to the rubber roof as well. Tires are dirty, plastics are a bit, faded, a little bit worn. Looks like they have some leftover wax on them. The front here, it's got a bit of dirt and bugs, so we'll just make sure we get that all cleaned up. So I had a client this fall recommend a product to me that he uses on his RVs, and he said it gives the ultimate best protection, best shine. It removes light oxidation, and it's really easy to apply, really easy to remove. So that's what we decided to do on this RV here. This client does want the roof washed and he wants it protected, so we're going to start up there. Now, we opted not to use the pressure washer to, not create any damage with the seals and the roof itself, so we're just using a hose with a regular nozzle. Things are not too dirty up here. There's a lot of sap spots, but we're best to just leave those be and just gently clean the roof as best as possible. So we're just using some basic Dawn dish detergent and an all-purpose cleaner and cleaning this baby up. So when you're washing RV roofs, you want to use something that's non-abrasive, like a super mild household cleaner. Dawn dish detergent works amazing. Something like an all-purpose cleaner like Simple Green works amazing as well. So we are just lightly washing the roof here, scrubbing it away with this super soft bristled brush. I purchased this brush from Amazon and opted for the 18-inch. It is linked in the description, and I highly recommend if you're doing any large vehicles, any RVs, get this brush. It is a must-have. Also, as we were cleaning the roof section by section, I took a small, soft, bristled tire brush and got into the tighter crevices that the bigger brush cannot get in. And I did the sides of the roof as well because a lot of algae had really been building up there. So we wanted to make sure we cleaned that off real well. Now we're going to protect this roof as well, so this is the final result, but we're going to do that tomorrow when it dries. We also cleaned the top of the slide outs while we were up on the roof, and now that we finished the roof, we're just rinsing off any excess soap that's still remaining on any of the awnings and on the side of the RV to get that off of the side there. So before we get into fully washing the RV, I'm going to go through and do a bug removal, and I'm going to clean the tires first. So I'm using Superior Dark Fury. That's my go-to bug removal at the moment, and I'm spraying that on the front of the RV. And for the tires and wheels, I'm now using P&S Brake Buster, and I am so happy with this product in comparison to the Dark Fury that I was using in the past. So I'm going to go through and get these wheels and tires cleaned up and also clean the wheel wells while I'm at it. So before I started using the P&S Brake Buster, and by the way, this is a non-acid cleaner, I was using the Superior Dark Fury, which I use for bugs, and I just wasn't a fan of it. It really did not do a good job on the wheels or tires whatsoever. It was all right, but it still required a lot of manual cleaning in order to get them cleaned. So I'm much happier with the P&S Brake Buster, and I'm sure I'm going to keep experimenting as time goes on, but this product has been great and a much better cleaner so far. Much like detailing a car, you can also use a foam cannon on an RV. We opted not to use the foam cannon in this detail simply because it was Christmas Eve. A lot of people were in the campground celebrating Christmas Eve and Christmas, so we just didn't want to be a noise disturbance on their holiday. So we just went for the Meguiar's Hyper Wash, we put it into a 5-gallon bucket, and we worked out of that. So anytime I detail, I get as much video footage as possible. So this is still an area that we have not yet washed. So you can see all of the black streaks and all of the dirt that's remaining on this RV. You can see its lack of shine. Those black streaks in front that are kind of hard to get, those are still remaining even though we did wash the front there. That trim right there, that's still pretty dirty, so we're going to make sure we address that in detail when we get to washing that area. I'm using this really soft bristled tire brush, and I'm using that to get a lot of those areas that need a little bit more detail, and it does a really good job in comparison to the larger brush. We still got some black streaks remaining, but we'll address those later. All right, the sun has set, the moon is out, and this RV about 2.5 hours later is now looking fabulous. So we're gonna close up shop and finish up tomorrow. It's day 2 and everything is nice and wet. So I'm going through and just hand drying the entire roof here while also applying 303 Aerospace Protectant. I love this protectant. It prevents cracking and fading and keeps that rubber nice and fresh. So I'm just going through, drying up the roof, spraying this on, and then drying it off because it is one of those products that it doesn't air dry. So you do have to go back over it and wipe off the product in order for it to dry. Okay, the roof is officially done, and now we're just going to move on to applying this wax. Now, this wax was recommended from one of my clients. I am super excited to use it and not have to buff out this entire RV with a polisher. So I'm just going through and applying all of this wax. Now, this wax is called Clear Coat Cleaner and Wax by California Custom. Now, this can be used on fiberglass. It is going to remove light oxidation. It has amazing reviews, and the way that you're supposed to apply it is just up and down. You're not supposed to buff it on, so that's why you see me just going up and down. They say the longer it sits, the better the results. It will not leave hazing. It's basically supposed to be a miracle worker. So I was so excited to use this, not have to buff out and polish out the entire RV with a polisher. And now I'm just starting to clean it off. We did do a small test sample. That was a little spot that we had done earlier, and it created a great shine in that one spot. So we're really excited to see the results here. So I'm not talking crap on this product whatsoever. It probably works amazing for certain situations. And on this slide out that didn't have as much oxidation, things look good. But as we move down the camper, and this was after we applied it to the entire camper, look at this. I'm not psyched. It did remove a lot of the dirt and grime, but it left it so streaky. Look, like you can see it. It looks like absolute garbage. It's like it removed some of the oxidation, but whatever it didn't remove, it just left it absolutely streaky. So we've officially wasted 2 hours waxing this entire camper and every ounce of strength that I had on my shoulder. So I'm pretty livid right now. Very livid right now because we have to buff this entire thing out with a polisher now.
So it's Christmas Eve. Jess is grumpy and irritated right now. Like no other. But I'm gonna put my smiley face on. You know, I've only been working for 4 hours, so yeah, let's just turn it into a 15-hour day.
Okay, so I just went and picked up some more Meguiar's RV compound and wax and extra buffing pad. So my husband is working on the RV right now.
So Adam had started buffing with the compound that I had available on hand, but we knew we were going to need more, so I had to go out to Harbor Freight and grab myself some Meguiar's RV one-step compound, and it's looking a lot better. Now, this is a process that he's still learning, so there were some areas that he had to go over multiple times in order to get the results that we were going after. He also had to, learn the speed and learn how long to work the compound. This is a compound that works best when you work it till it's like dust. So he figured that out along the way. I am so tired. I can't lift my arms any longer. I have a blazing headache. I don't ever want to do that again. Okay, good night. Let's play a quick game of Would You Rather. Jessica, would you rather detail an RV that is fully oxidized or wrestle an alligator? Oh, I'm gonna go with wrestle an alligator for sure. It is now the day after Christmas and we are back out at this RV. We've been working on this for about 2.5 days now. It's been a learning lesson, to say the least. It is coming out amazing. Now guys, while Adam finished up with the polisher, I worked on some other things. So this is what that front end looked like when we got here. It was horrific. So many streaks, so filthy. And this is what I got it looking like now. Now, I did end up using that California Customs wax on the front. The front end was not a fiberglass material, so it worked really well on that surface. But the remainder of the RV was fully polished out, and we had to use something that had more of a heavier cut to it, a compound with a heavier cut. So it is looking so good now. On the back door, I did use Meguiar's wax and cleaner, and I did it by hand because it didn't have a lot of oxidation. It wasn't too dirty, so that result came out good just using that product. So we went through, cleaned up all the wax on everything, and UV protected all of the plastic surfaces. It's now 4:30 p.m. on day 3. We are exhausted, but just got asked to wash this RV. This thing is big, but we are just doing a wash and a spray wax, so it shouldn't be too complicated of a job, and I feel like we got that process down pretty good by now. So we pretty much just got straight to work. We were really short on daylight, so we knew we had to get this thing done, and we had a really great process. This took us an hour and a half to get this whole thing done. Bugs removed, tar removed, wheels cleaned. It came out looking amazing. We used all the same products, the Meguiar's Hyper Wash that I mentioned before, along with the PNS Brake Buster. And the last thing that we used on this that I didn't use on the last RV was the Superior Formula 4 Spray Wax. All right, so while doing that second camper, we now got a third camper. So we're heading over there. We've got about an hour left of daylight, and just gonna get to work real quick. So you guys ask a lot, how am I getting clients while I'm down here in Florida? And I'd say 90% of my clients are coming from face-to-face interactions. So they either see me working or I stop and I converse with them, and I'm always mentioning that I'm a detailer. A lot of times they're like, oh, do you do this? Do you do exterior washes? Or how much to wash my RV? Or how much to clean my interior? So when you tell people what you're doing, it strikes up conversation, and especially if they like you, just based off of that initial contact and that initial conversation with you, they're typically more than happy to want to help you and support you in your business. So the more you get face-to-face with people, guys, the more success you're going to have. While this RV was just the tiniest bit smaller, it did have a few lesser slide outs, but it was a lot dirtier. The wheels were dirtier. It had a lot more bugs on it. It definitely hadn't been cleaned as frequently as the last one had been. So even though it was a little bit smaller, we did end up charging the same amount that we charged the previous client. All right, so daylight is getting slim, but we finished just in time, and this RV is looking great as well. The clients were both really happy. They were so stoked to have these things done because they're actually from Canada, so they were happy to find someone that was able to do them on such short notice. But all in all, guys, for the grand total of what we made on these 3 RVs, the very first one, was a good friend deal of $600. Now, our friend did not ask for a discount. This was something that we gave to him. The second RV that we did was just a wash and a quick spray wax. That was $150, took us an hour and a half. And same with this RV, $150.
So all in all, over the 3 days, which half of that time was like our own fault of, you know, trying a new product that failed us miserably. But we did $900 and I'm pretty happy with that. A lot of what we're doing down here is just, I don't want to say for the fun of it, but it's kind of for the fun of it. It's for the experiment of it and just to make some extra money. So I'm not like grinding hardcore down here trying to like grow my business. A lot of you have asked about that in my last video, but this is just an opportunity to like experiment and like challenge myself and see what it's like to grow a business in a brand new market and try new things, try detailing RVs. It's a fun experimental process. Anywho, about $900, not hating on that, very thankful for everybody, and just word keeps getting around, and the more people I talk to, the more details we're getting. So just having a good time with it. So that is that video, guys. Thanks so much for joining me on this grand old journey. It's fun. It is a challenge. It is detailing. So thanks, guys. Till next time. We'll see you next time.